with Headz TV, and I'd like to welcome you, not to just a regular episode where you see me training, you know what I'm saying? I'm here with my homie, my bro.
Sir.
We take this all the way back from, 2014 and my days running in college, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Mr. David
yes,
Emeche, man, welcome to Headz TV. How are you doing today?
Good, brother. How you doing, dog?
I'm doing good, man. So, a little bit about Mr. David Emeche. I met him in 2014 in East Texas, Hawkins, Texas, at this little small school, NAIA school. I don't even want to give him no clout like that, you know what I'm saying? But, Little Jarvis Christian College.
Little Jarvis,
you know
little
what I'm
Stranger
saying?
Things over there.
For real, like when I met him, we were both incoming athletes. He was from the West Coast, Washington. I was from the East Coast, in Georgia and stuff like that. And we met over there, instantly connected. You know what I'm saying? We were very similar. He was 1-2 in terms of the events that he ran. I was 200, 400, and 800 and hurdles and all this other stuff. But there was one big thing I feel like that kind of we had similarities with, is that we had issues with injuries. We both were coming into the school with big time hamstring injuries. And we were both young. We were 20, 21 years old, and we were trying to figure out how to make a name for ourselves in this NAIA, atmosphere. So before I even get started, let me list off a couple of David's PRs and a couple of his accolades. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
David is, and mind you, like when I'm saying this, he still has so much untapped potential. You know what I'm saying? He's still training. He's still getting it in. So I can't wait to see what he does this year. So far, believe his PRs, correct me if I'm wrong, is 10.84.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
21.89.
Yes, sir.
And then on paper, 50.21.
Yeah.
And I've been on relays with this guy where he split 48-2 running in lane 3. I'm talking about like he gets it, second leg, he cuts in, and then he stays in lane 3, busting a 48-2, strong. So a lot of untapped
you remember that
potential.
relay?
Yeah, and then that was a crazy relay.
Oh yeah, bro.
So the first thing I really want to say is before you got to Jarvis, man, and I believe that you were training with a coach beforehand. Like, how was your training like before you got to Jarvis? And then we'll transition to how Jarvis and how that training changed. Right. And what were your PRs before you got to Jarvis?
Yeah, man. No, so funny enough, my PR before getting to Jarvis was actually probably like, it was crazy. I think I want to say it was like a win-aided 10, win-aided like 10-8-9, 10-9. But the crazy thing is even before that, I had actually just gotten back into track my senior year of high school. So I just got back into track, and the fact that I was able to make it to state and did what I did at that time, that was already kind of something else. But with that being said, in terms of training, I was with a coach. He was more of a jumpers coach. But he still has some knowledge here and there. But I think in terms of just training, I never really got like the guidance, that guidance, like that structured aspect of when you train. Right. And so he had me doing probably ladders at full speed, 100%.
Yeah.
150s, 100, like everything was 100%. Nothing was ever like 80. You trying to get times or nothing. It was just all 100%. You gotta go, 100%. You gotta go. And so I'm sitting here thinking, all right, he's gonna get me where I gotta get. Even in terms of the weight room, I'm going to weight room, and it's just ridiculous weight that I'm supposed to be putting up. I gotta be squatting at least 410, 415 every rep, 3 times 10. You know what I'm saying? Leg press and something like 3 something. Like just ridiculous things. Always box jumping, trying to get higher, keep getting higher. But just like it's almost like it was just aimless. There's like no point to it, right?
Right.
And so I think in terms of how we how when in 2014 when we linked up and did what we did at Jarvis, man, it was like a game changer. It actually made me like really like look at track so much more differently. It wasn't like you gotta run, keep going, because honestly, it's impossible to keep up that kind of intensity every single
Every single practice.
Every single practice. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the big shift, because that's something that we shared in common. You know, I came, you know, from a coach who was kind of like the same. Every single practice was 100%, 95%, 150s, busting PRs and stuff like that. And one of the big things I remember that we shared was that, you know, we will be running these amazing times in practice, and then sometimes we'll get to a meet and it wouldn't be the same.
No.
You know, the intensity wouldn't be the same. I recall running, you know, 10-6 a couple times in practice, and I go to a track meet and it's 11-2, 11-1. And I believe we shared the same kind of, you know, issue, you know, and especially when it came to hamstring injuries, and you're asking your coach the frustration, like, yo, you said I can run this, and I'm doing everything you're saying, and I'm not running it.
Dog, when going back to that, that was probably, like you said, like one of the most frustrating things, just, you know, as a track athlete, just to hear, because it's like, it almost feels like you're just being gassed up for no reason at that point, or it's like, okay, something's clearly, I have something that people are seeing, but I'm not seeing it right now. I mean, it even got to the point where he actually brought in like one of his friends who run track, and he's been around the track world. And this dude watching me run, he's like, man, like, yeah, you should be running at 10.5 right now. You should be like, yeah, you fast enough to be running at 10.5 right now. And I'm sitting here like, man, like, tell that to the last 3 meets I ran 11.5, 11.7, 11.2. It's like what?
It's not equating. Something's off.
Yeah, like something is missing, man. Like, I'm glad y'all see this, but I need to see this on paper, on time. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's continue going back. It's 2014. We're in East Texas, right? In a new environment. Everyone's in a new environment. We're not even going to talk about the school. You know, that's a whole nother topic about how the school was.
That was an adventure, my man.
Right. We're not even going to go into. I ain't even trying to make this a hate thing about the school. You know, it just is what it was. They gave us opportunity to do something, and we did. We made the best of it. But what was the, you know, because you and I used to have so many conversations during that time, and I guess the question is, when was the first time you saw the results of like the different kind of training that you were doing? Because the year before, right? Yeah. You were doing high intensity training. You're running at 95%. You're lifting super heavy, and then, or better yet, you can describe the kind of training that you were doing. Right. What was the difference in the training from 2014 summer, 2013 to 14 season versus 2014 to 15 season? What was the major difference?
Yeah, no, I think definitely. I mean, I could list off like 2 or 3, but definitely one of the major differences was intensity, right? It's definitely intensity. All right, like we're not you know, going out there, like I mentioned before, just running just to run. Right. Like it was, you know, with a purpose, with intensity, but also like knowing when to scale back, and knowing that you still got 4 or 5 more reps in these. Right. And the reason, and I think it actually goes behind like the reason of the training, it's not because you're trying to run fast or do this, but you're trying to build up other things like lactic acid, strength, all the speed endurance, muscular endurance, all those things that you're gonna need, you know, when you're running these meets. Like if you're running 200 or 400, whatever, you're gonna need a lot more of those aspects instead of just me trying to get fast or me trying to run fast. Right. Speed's gonna be there. Speed's probably the easiest thing to you know, train for in track at the end of the day, right? Like it's probably one of the most easiest things to get ready for before a meet. Right. But you got to do the heavy lifting, right? Like, and then the heavy lifting is practically, you know, muscular endurance, speed endurance, right. You know, building up lactic acid, because you got to be able to be strong like no other to still run fast. I mean, you want to run fast, but you got to be able to hold that speed. And so, in terms of just the differences, man, like, it was, well, we did 350s. Yeah. You know, a lot of 350s.
A lot of 350s, right.
A ton of 350s, man. But honestly, and then what, we had 350s, then, you know, we would have like a 250 or 200 right after that. Right. But things that really like built our muscular endurance really got us tough. Right. And so obviously, you know, when it was time to get in these meets, you know, it was very like, you can get there at these meets just much more confident, because it's like, man, I've done put in a lot of strength work, a lot. I know I'm just as strong as everybody in this thing.
Right.
So it's like, all right, like that's when I guess speed comes in at that point. It's like I know I'm strong, just as strong as everybody else. Now let's see who can actually go, who can
Right.
race, you know. So
And that's the biggest thing, you know. And like I said, I think we can agree with that. Where the year before, it's like, you know, maybe the confidence, and maybe that was the wrong direction, right? It's like sometimes you get your confidence from running 16-1 in a 150. And it's like, whoa, if I can run this, then I can run a 21 something and then mess around and accidentally run a 22 high or a 23. And it's just like, that doesn't make sense.
No.
Like almost like you don't have to prove yourself in practice. You know, practice is really for practice. And I think that was a big thing, because it's almost like, you know, you have, and I think we can agree where we had a lot of teammates, we ain't gonna call nobody out, but we had a lot of teammates who sometimes they wanted to race in practice. And talk about ego. Talk about, you're a 22, let's say you're a 22.5 athlete going into Jarvis, and you have a 23.5 athlete you're training with, right? And you know what your paces are, right? The coach tells you, I need you to run at 85%, David, for this 350, and you have a 23.5 athlete that's running with you, trying to beat you on every single rep. What, like, for the athletes out there that want to make that transition from 22.5 to 21.8, what advice can you give them dealing with athletes that do not stick with the paces?
Man, for one, definitely, if you're you know what, practicing what I like to call, you know, practice warriors, practice heroes, you just gonna have to be in your own space at that point. All right, you're gonna have to ignore everything they're doing. Don't get caught up in their intensity and what they're doing and how they're doing it. That's gonna be number one, right? Don't get caught up in all their hype. You're running to do you. You're running to go in your own lane, your own race. I mean, it's like the rule of life and obviously a rule of track. You're literally in your own lane. So with that being said, you need to ignore that. To even go further, when you're dealing with those kinds of people, man, you just gotta. I mean, if you want, you can always let them know, like, hey, man, you're probably not gonna get better like this, and you could probably say it in a better way than I'm saying it.
Right.
But
like, you're not gonna get better trying to race me. Like, come on, stop.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely probably would it better, but because I know for a fact, man, with those people who will not be named over at Jarvis, but I remember having a few of those talks, like, bro, look, you're not about to get fast doing this.
Right.
Just be easy. And you know those guys. They always be like, man, you and Darnell, y'all so fast. I'm trying to get like y'all. I'm like, if you trying to get like, then stay with us, bro. Stop trying to beat us like every rep.
Right.
Like this is how we getting faster. We trying to show you the way, bro.
Right.
But honestly, yeah, either that or, like I said, I think the biggest thing is honestly just to be mentally focused, know the kind of race that you're gonna be running anyway. And stick to that, stick to what you need to do, how you need to get there. Because a lot of people with egos are something else. But egos, egos that attract me don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna work, because it's gonna show whether you fast, you about it, or you not about it.
Right.
So the ones who are always trying to race somebody and yet they're not getting any better, that's the reason why. Honestly.
David is speaking truth. We've had plenty of people, and I'm not just talking about Jarvis, but even for you guys watching this, you may be in a group of 4 or 5 people where all you guys have different PRs, right? Let's say you run the 200 and you're at a 23 seconds and you have someone in your group running 24.5, 23 high and all this stuff, and you're maybe one of the fastest people in your group. Don't get thrown off what you're supposed to do in your practice. Your coach tells you run at 80%. Do not, just because someone is beating you does not mean that you're doing anything wrong, right? Because you could have, let's say, 350s, and you can have 3 sets of 350s, and the first or second one, they may burn them. And then the last one, they can't hang on. There's been many a times David and I have run, and the first and second one, certain people are ahead and certain people are doing certain things, and by the last rep, they can't finish. Talk about, I think that's one of the other keys, right? In the year before, maybe you would have 2 times let's say 2 times 150s at 95%, but you know, by the time you got to Jarvis, maybe it was something like 6 150s and, you know, at 18 or 17 versus 2 at, you know, just that. Talk about, you know, talk about the difference in the increase of reps. You know what I'm saying? Like the mentality of not trying to run the first one as fast as you can, but maybe try and run the last one, you know, as fast as you can, or even the whole thing about consistency when it comes to these reps.
No, yeah, you're right, bro. I think the difference between, you know, just increasing reps, from one is definitely gonna get to you, right? Like you're gonna get more lactic acid buildup. But honestly, that's I think that's like the mental part of the sport, where it's like, you know, you're getting stronger. You can feel yourself getting stronger by being consistent. It's not about trying to go fast and on these certain days. I mean, there are days to go fast, but there are also days to build up strength. And you know, increasing reps like that, there's always going to be obviously days that that you're going to have to, you know, increase strength, but also keep it consistent. I mean, that's like the biggest thing with track. Consistency is always key, right? You always want to hit these times in the most consistent manner. You don't want to be hitting times, you know, oh, I went 15 and then I went down 17, went down 16, got back up. All of a sudden, now I'm at 20, but then, dang, I just zoomed at 14. That's not doing anything for you. That's not doing anything. You want to at least have the most consistent times you can. Just for the fact that I feel like, you know, your body like just gets used to that kind of strain. Trying to be able to do it consistently.
Up and down and left and right.
Because when you're doing that, it's like you can kind of see it in the times. You just taking a rest, or you trying to back off a bit. You're trying to do this. If you can be consistent throughout everything, it don't matter what time it is. If you can just be like consistent throughout it all, like for sure, like you could definitely get faster. You can definitely get faster because now like your body, like it's straining to keep at that same, you know, at that same time, that same speed, and especially that speed doesn't feel like that once you start getting tired. All right, like you might be, let's say you trying to hit a 17. Oh man, this is easy. This is cool. Yeah, whatever. By the time you get to that 6, 7 rep or whatever it is, it's you start feeling that like, oh, this does not feel like 17 no more. It feels like I'm trying to go 15. But that's when you really gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you really gotta go. You really gotta fight through that burn, that lactic acid.
Fatigue,
man. Yeah, that fatigue, honestly.
All right, so you know, let's go forward. So you're under this new kind of training, right? You're not missing a day of practice, you know. You know, you made it through the winter of Jarvis, right? It's now January. It's now officially the springtime. And the meets are starting to come. When is that first moment you feel like, damn, this training is actually working? Like, was it a time in practice where you felt it? Was it a time at a track meet where you felt it? Because I know, you know, with the whole way the season was, you didn't really have the traditional 10 meet schedule, you know?
No, not at all. I would actually say that first time it came in practice. And I remember, I honestly remember, actually, I think it was when me and you were doing abs. But I think it was weird. Like at that point in time, it was practice, and for whatever reason, we were doing abs. And I don't know what it is, but it just felt something felt different about me doing core, right? Something just felt like me completely different doing core. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And I think I remember the next day we went out. I think we did 350s again or something. This time it was like I was tired, but it wasn't like the same. It wasn't that same feeling no more. It was like I don't know what it was, but it's like my body had like it kind of woke up finally. You know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of woke up. All of a sudden, it's like, you know, that last 100-meter stretch at that, you know, at one of these last reps, it's not even like you can feel the burn, but it's not getting to you. It's a different level. It's like once you get past that threshold,
it's not stopping you from. It's not decreasing your speed. You feel it, but you can still keep going.
But it doesn't affect you. You just feel the threshold, but like this is great. Like I'm gonna keep going. Like it's not affecting me at all. And that's when I think when we did that like last 350, man, I just remember thinking, yeah, man, like this is about to be different, because I had never felt that before, where it was like I'm running 350s for this long and I'm still upright, still going, still, you know, getting there, get across the line like it's nothing, able to go pick up, do another rep again. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like none of that bothers you no more. Once you get past that threshold.
Right.
So I want to say like, yeah, around January or so is when I realized, yeah, this thing is working. It's working. It's like a different feeling that I haven't had, like even up till now, even until now.
Right.
Just haven't had. It's different. You know?
Right. There was a time when I saw it a couple times with you because I was very aware of like different athletes. I mean, there was only like 6 of us on the boys' side because everyone else was on like either fell off or they weren't eligible and stuff. Yeah. But I remember there was a point in time where I don't think I was running that day. I had like not injury, but I think I just took a day off or something. And I was at practice. I was timing you guys for 150s, and I remember you were running and your hat flew off, and you caught your hat and put it back on your head, but you didn't miss a step, and you were working the hell out them dudes. Like I think you still ran like 17 mid. Like it was. Yeah. You know, you had about 5 reps or something like that. And I think on like rep number 3, your hat flew off, it caught it and put it back on your head and just kept running. And I'm like, yeah, he's a totally different athlete now because, you know, I think hands down, if you ask someone which one is harder, if you're let's say a 10-9 athlete and a 22-5 athlete, and you ask that athlete which one is harder, running 2 times 150s at 16 seconds with 10 minutes rest, or doing 6 times 150s at, let's say, 17.5 with 3 to 5 minutes rest, which one was harder? I guarantee you they'll pick that right one. Yep. And the fact that you were able to still not even use your arms for 50 meters, you didn't use your arms because you were just putting back on your hat. For you to have that, for you to still not lose that technique, still have the strength to continue it, and no one was catching up to you, that told me like, yeah, this dude is, he's feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Those 350s are working for him. Those 250s are working for him. You know, there were so many quality sessions that are very memorable even to this day. I remember doing 3 times 250s with you. And you know, we're coming through at 30 seconds and 31. And then I realized this year that the place where we started at wasn't a 250.
What was it?
It was a 255. So we were really going like 29 seconds, you know what I'm saying, for 250.
Bro. And it's even to this day, bro, like I try to tell people, man, I'm like, man, y'all don't understand. When I was back down in Texas, like we were beasts. Like me and you, we were monsters. We were training, but it was like the right kind of training. But when we got right, man, we were we were monsters, man. Yeah. Like we were monsters. And the fact, just here and now, 255, but it was still cool, whatever. Like we running at like 32? We was running at like a 32 or something, like, wasn't we?
Yeah, I mean, when we did it for 5 minutes rest, we were running them at like 32 to 33 seconds, 5 minutes rest, and we would do like 4 or 5 sets or reps. When we were doing those runs, it was like 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? And bro, it wouldn't be like, you know, it would be 8 minutes rest and then we're back on the line, you know. It wasn't like 20 minutes rest out of breath. It was like, shit, let's get this over with, you know, because it was conditioned, which is a big thing, you know. Everyone can run. I think most people can run a 250 at 30 or 29, but can you do 3, you know? Can you do 4? This is the kind of strength that's needed when you have to do, you know, those 200s back to back in a race. You know, can you run 4x1, 400, 200, 100, 4x4?
Keep going.
You know? All right. So going forward, you have your first race, right? You have your first race. I think your first race was a 100.
Was it?
I believe it was a 100.
That was in Mississippi, right?
Yes. Yep. It was in Mississippi. Yeah. And I believe did you go sub 11?
I want to say, I thought I went 11.
So you went like 11 flat?
It was 11. It was definitely, it was close. I forget what it was. It was like around 11 or 10. I want to say it was around 11. 11 flat. 11 flat, actually. Okay. So to be safe, let's say 11 flat, right? Yeah. So you open up in a really great, you know, first time. This was like in, I want to say April, right? Yeah. So this is a first pretty good meet, and you got first. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you got first by like a lot.
No, yeah, no. And it's funny because yeah, I do remember that, and I want to say my start was actually bad. Like, if I remember correctly, I don't think it was the best start that I had. I think it was actually a bad start,
Mm.
and I remember walking away. I think I was either talking to you
Mm-hmm.
or somebody else too. I think it was Trail Kim's coach.
Yeah, you were talking to his coach. Yep.
Yeah. So I think I saw both of y'all, and even one of the athletes from Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody was like, "Yo, like that start wasn't great, but it could have been so much more fast. That should have been faster than
Yeah.
11 flat." And I remember thinking, "Dang, like for real." But nah, I think it's because of the lack of competition, honestly, at that race.
Yeah.
Like there was really nothing that was like, all right. I mean, well, I guess that's not an excuse. No matter what, you gotta run fast, right?
I mean, I would agree with you.
Yeah,
If that wasn't your first race, and I think that's very important because,
that's true. That's true.
like I said, the year before,
That's true.
coming from the kind of seasons that we were having, right?
Yeah.
And to open up in a time that last year was a struggle to get to.
That is, yeah.
And you ran it because I think that's one of the main points I told you when we did speak.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, you were like, damn it, man, I ran 11 flat. And I was just like, dude, like, dude, you beat everyone by like 30 meters.
Yeah.
I remember that race. Like you had a good dry phase.
Mm-hmm.
You had a decent start, a good dry phase, but it was your last 40 meters or 30 meters because you weren't turning over.
Yeah.
Because there was no one to turn over for. It was just like, you had the gear, but it was just like the instincts to use them were not there because it's like there's no competition, right?
Right. No, yeah, no, that is actually true, man. That is Africa. It's funny, man, because even back then, bro, I was not thinking about that at all.
Right.
I was not thinking about that at all. And I was like, man, but I didn't even stop. And I think that
you were trying to see 10-1 on the damn
right, bro. But,
on the screen.
But that actually goes back to like one of the things me and you would always talk about like back then, and was just like with this sport, man, you got to take the little things, right? You gotta kind of walk everything back and kind of just be, just kind of look at the things that got you there, right? And I was so, obviously I was so focused and obsessed with, trying to get 10 because that last season was a shit show, right?
Right.
But I didn't even stop to realize, like you said, wow, like that last season, bro, I couldn't even hit an 11 flat. I didn't even come close to that. Right. I didn't even come close to the 11 flat. It was bogus times after bogus times. And it was like the fact that I opened up in a 11 flat and, like, to your point, wasn't even really turning over first 100 of that year and whatnot. Right. It's always good to kind of acknowledge like your victories, the little wins here and there. That's like the most important thing, especially with this sport. So
right, and then you came out healthy as well, and so it was definitely a great race, and what was the other thing? The other thing that I noticed from that particular race is that you ran a 4x4.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that's right.
You ran a 4x4 that meet, and for a lot of these athletes out there who run the 100 and 200 like David does, they're scared of the 4x4. Right? They're very scared of the 4x4. They want to run, they feel like they have the speed. They're running 10.9, 10.8, 10.7, and they are freaked out to run the 4x4. Whew. Now, David, I was on this relay with you. I think I ran first leg and then I passed off to you.
Yeah.
And I passed off to you. And I think once this was like your second 4x4 that you ran for Jarvis. Yeah. And you were putting up some very solid splits because like I said at the beginning of this interview, his PR is a 50.2, but he didn't set that running at Jarvis. Nah. Right? He wasn't even running the 400 like that. And this dude was splitting 49 lows on the first leg, 48 highs on the first leg. On the second leg, he only ran the 4x4 like 3 or 4 times. That year. Huh? Didn't run any 450s in practice. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Just 350s. That was he stayed away from it. I was running them. He was just like, I'm gonna do some 350s, man.
Yeah, bro. Right, cool. It's all good. I don't go over 400, bro.
Right. And when I tell you, he would finish so strong, and you would not think that he is a just 100, 200 meter runner. Talk about how the 400 played its role in the way that you felt during the season running the 100 and 200, specifically the 200, because a lot of people underestimate. A lot of people like to say, yeah, Usain Bolt ran 1919. They don't talk about when he had to go 45 in January, February to run, have enough strength to run that.
Nah, Bar, you definitely right, man. I think, honestly, man, as much, I can understand the dread, because, man, that is not fun, especially that last 100 meters, that 400. You just want it to be over with. But in all reality, though, man, like, that honestly helps. I know a lot of people, some people like, the 400's this and the 400's that, and there's like I guess reserves about that. But I don't think what people like really kind of take time to understand is that it is a speed endurance race, right? It is a speed. It's all about strength. Like, in order to have speed, you have to have strength.
Yep.
Correct. Like, it's about power, right? So if you don't have the power or the strength to keep doing some of the things you're doing, or at least, like, do a 400 or whatnot,
right?
How are you going to be that, that powerful hitting, you know what I'm saying? Like have that strength to keep holding that speed. Like, if you're going crazy fast, you still got to have some type of strength to hold that. Like, it doesn't make any sense not to have that. I mean, it's not fun to train for. I'll tell you that much. It's not fun to train for at all. But it's something that, like, if you're trying to get fast and you want to do the things you need to do, it's definitely a requirement that you got to have. That being said, man, that helped with my 2, so even my 1, but honestly my 2 so much more, because it felt like you have a whole nother gear, like, that you don't even tap into, like, you don't even think about. Like, it's like, all right, cool, I ran that first 100. That's great, but now I can still go even fast. Like, I still have so much more juice in the tank, and I'm also strong, so I can hold this. I can keep holding because obviously your speed, no matter what you do, your speed's always going to die down at some point in time. So now it's just about how strong are you and can you hold it. And it's like with those kind of 400 workouts, man, they help so much in terms of just being able just to still keep moving, move, still keep going. Stay in stride, stay in whatever you got to do, to get to that finish line in time. And I think for me, man, like, that one of those 4x4s is it's nerve, bro. I'm not gonna, as nerve wracking as they are, man. I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous doing that than I actually did for the 100 or 200.
Really?
Which was weird, because I mean, the 100, 200, like, those are my events. I feel like I should always be nervous for that. I mean, and there to a degree, you always got nerves before a race. That's always gonna be there, but I was just more like, for some reason, just even more nervous running these 4x4s. I don't know what it was, but something that made it like, damn, all right, whew, all right.
Do you think it was because of the pressure that we put on ourselves to kind of go to nationals with it?
Yeah, and I think that definitely played a factor for sure. That definitely played a factor. But I don't know, it was just something where it's like, it's also the last event of the meet. Right. And so you got all eyes on you. And I don't know. I guess just running that, and it's a 400 again. Like, it's not the most prettiest
at all. Last 50, it just
it's just go.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything hurts, but just go. And that's what I don't miss about that. But I think for whatever reason, man, it got you more mentally tough, man. More mentally ready than anything else. And honestly, like I said, it was like, it kind of puts your body through it a little bit, to be able to feel pain but still keep. But I think just going back to that, man, shoot, I forgot what I was even saying.
No, you said going back to that, the 400 gave you confidence with your 200 and 100, but you were still nervous about it.
Yeah. No, just still being nervous about that. And honestly, man, I think at the end of the day, it's like, you got to go out there and do it, because I do. Oh, back to my point about dying at the end. It was a meet, actually, that y'all had me first leg, and it was, you have a video of it. I think it's actually on your channel.
Okay. I'll link that up there so y'all can check it out.
It is. I think it was actually on your channel, man. But that I remember. I was actually nervous for that one too, bro.
Right.
I was actually kind of nervous for that one too, and I was like, I think that might have been the first. Was that the first or was that the second?
I don't think you started running on relays until maybe like April. I want to say like late March, April.
So that might have been. I think that might have been the second, or I forget which one. But either way, man, I just felt nervous about that one too. And I remember, me and you, we had that talk. We just had the game plan. Like, all right, man, this is what you're gonna do. Woo, 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 woo. Just like practice, right?
Right.
Just like practice. Got out. I didn't even realize, bro. I got out like we did. I honestly treated it like practice. Got out like we did in practice. Do what we did. And before I know it, all of a sudden I feel like I'm by myself.
Yeah. It was around the 250. You was just
I didn't even realize I was by myself until I was like, oh, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Like it's a lonely world out here right now.
Yeah.
Coming across this corner. And I remember the most that first time, bro, just feeling that 400 pain, right? That 400 pain. I'm coming towards that straightaway. I'm like, here it is. But that was like that mental toughness I was talking about. That was when, all right, everything's gotta be nice.
Right.
I'm gonna die out soon, but it's all about strength, and you just gotta stick your technique. Get there, and turn up, and then giving you the baton, and you just.
I tried. We were trying to do something, man. I was like, yo, we don't got all our, we trying to get the pieces. We only got 6 guys. About 4 of them can run. We got to get it.
No. At that point, man, the race was already over. Once you got to it, it was done.
It was done after that.
Yeah, that was one of the most dominating 400 wins I think I've been a part of ever. Bro.
Yeah.
No exaggeration.
We definitely put up some smoke in some of those races.
Actually, I think the Concordia coaches, I think he said when he was recruiting me, he saw that video.
Hey, dope. Yeah. So that's why, guys, if it's the new world, you know what I'm saying? It's 2020. Definitely start recording your races because you don't know who can see them and who can give you an opportunity to go someplace. I think I actually said that in one of my videos, which I'll post up there as well. For y'all who are dealing with COVID-19, all right, and you don't have, because I think there's going to be a whole nother lockout. There's not going to be any a lot of track meets. A lot of schools already started canceling some of their programs. College coaches started canceling some of their programs, but that does not mean that you have to stop running. Go out there, practice, record your races. You may not have the little official FAT time, but your coaches could take the time from the video and see what you are doing. You know what I'm saying? There's so many coaches that do that on an everyday basis. So do not let that stop you. Dave is living proof. You know what I'm saying? He went out there, and that we can make that a whole nother video about, about coaches and making sure athletes are what's the word? Making sure athletes are legal. What's the word?
Eligibility.
Yeah, make sure eligibility is in the proper space, because we ain't even gonna go into it because that's a whole nother video.
That's a whole nother story.
But David was dope enough to still lend his talents to us, and because of that, it landed him an opportunity at a school on the West Coast in which he did a damage at as well. All right, so let's continue on. We're starting to reach the close of things. One race that really sticks out for me, David, is your last 200. We had the last chance meet, and you put together 2 races that really showed the kind of shape that you were in and the potential that you had. That if we had a really full season, the damage that you would have been able to do. One race that sticks in my head is your 200. That's where you set a PR, not listed under your name, but it's still, it's a PR. That's a whole nother story.
That's a story. That's a story.
And the 4x4 split in which you ran 48.2. So the first thing I want you to kind of, let me tell you what I saw when I saw this 200, and you can go into details about it. When I saw you run this 200, it was after I ran my 200. I ran a 22.4. I was like, damn, what happened, I didn't feel fast, but I felt strong. So I'm just like, you know what? My 400, I feel good for it.
But I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
you also got to remember that meet though. I think it was a little crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it canceled halfway through.
Yeah.
It was in a 2-day meet, I think too.
It was a forced 2-day meet because after we had to mutiny a little bit.
Yeah, it was one of the most strangest meets that I've been in. So I would take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but that didn't stop you though. I saw David go out and he ran 22:02. And when he ran this 22:02, it was one of the strongest 22:02s I've seen because that was David's first 200.
Yeah.
Before then, he was running 100s, helping us out on the 4x4. I believe his PR before then was like a 22.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Last year was shaky, and he goes out and technically, if he hasn't, I'm not sure if you broke 11 seconds that year yet. But if you did, it was like a 10.9 high.
Yeah, it was actually that same meet. It was
okay.
10,
oh, you ran the 100 as well.
Yeah, the 10.93.
So think about that, guys. He ran the 100, the 200, and the 4x4, and basically set season's best, if not PRs, in all of them.
Yeah.
Right. He ran that 22, and after he got past the 100, he just dug and hit that next gear and left everybody, and ran a 22:02, and I looked like, what the I dropped the F-bomb because I was just like, for the last meet, his opening 200, for him to run that was crazy. Talk about that race a little bit.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's actually another race I was disappointed in.
Really?
Yeah, bro. That was another race I was like, damn, I ran a 22:02. Not even realize, bro.
That was a race we had to talk afterwards. Like, dude, you just PR'd, man, by a lot.
Yeah. And I was sitting there tripping, like, what? I ran a 22:02, but it's like, obviously that was my first 200 of that season. I don't know why. I don't know. I was drivers or something else. But anyway, running that race, man. I just remember, honestly, I remember just getting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember just getting out, one of those first 30 meters, but I didn't get out it was like a get out. Obviously, you got to get out,
right?
But now you got to maintain that speed at which you got out with, all right? Like, it's not about getting out and keep going because you still got a whole another 100 meter left.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to work that curve as well. And so it was about me getting out, just maintaining that speed of which I got out with, work the curve a bit, and then you'll feel it. That curve will slingshot you, right? You're gonna feel it. It's gonna feel like a slingshot out of nowhere, just like kind of just drags you, and you're like, oh, I gotta go. And once you feel that, that's when it's like, yeah, I'm gonna open up now. I gotta go. I gotta move, and you just keep moving, and you just keep moving. I mean, I definitely remember it being my first 200 because I did feel, I think during that last 30 or 40 meters, I definitely felt a lot. Like, I felt it. I felt it. That's all I can say.
It didn't look like it, though. It looked like you just kept running through the line. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Bro, no, I think that was probably that goes back to that 400 meter strength, man. I think that's what I had to reserve and dig deep in, because for sure, man, I felt that during that last 30, 40 meters, man,
mm-hmm.
it was creeping.
It started to that nice little burn.
Yeah, I was like, whew. But nah, I think with that being said, man, no, that's what I remember going through, and that 200. That 200 for sure. Like I said, I remember just feeling, oh my gosh, I'm disappointed, but I didn't realize at that time that was my first two, right?
Right.
Opened up my first two, and then, like you said, we had more. I honestly wish we had more time, bro.
Yeah.
That season, that was just a weird season in general. But I honestly wish we had a lot more time, like in terms of like competing, doing what we got to do. Because, man, I think the potential for us, bro, to do something crazy, it's like it doesn't even speak. Like, I'm telling you guys this right now, like, y'all don't understand. Like, me and D Brown over here, like, people don't understand that we got it's like the times that we talking about. It's great and it's good. You know, obviously they're decent times. Nothing to be like, oh wow, this is this, but nobody understands that me and him, like we got potential, like not even potential. We got it. We got it, and it's only a matter of time before it actually comes out.
Right.
So, nah, man, I look back at that and like, damn, bro, I wish we really did have a lot more time because that would have been a really special season for sure.
Yeah, and that goes to show, not only would it have been a special time, even despite all of the outside environmental noise that was going on and stuff, and
bro, how did we make it through that, bro?
Yeah, we still PR'd, we still had a hell of a season. We both walked away with PRs, and everything. I PR'd in everything. I believe you PR'd in everything.
Yeah.
And we walked away with experience of how to train. It wasn't just, oh, we have PRs but have no idea. There's a reference to use, now of how to get to that next level, injury free, and feeling great and feeling strong. So I think that's like a big important thing to kind of take away from each experience, and in closing, man, if there was one thing that you would like to tell, that upcoming high school athlete or that college athlete that's stuck, at that 22.5 or stuck at that 23 flat or whatever, times that anyone is stuck at and they're stuck in that with that coach telling them you need to go 100% at practice and not necessarily in effort, but in time, they have that high intensity kind of training. What's the big thing that you would suggest to them coming from someone who experienced that kind of training and changed the training and you saw the immediate benefits of it?
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, simply, man, I would just tell them, you gotta lead that coach. You gotta lead that coach.
Straight up.
Like you gotta lead that coach because honestly, if that's a coach and they've been there years, right? They've got their experience and they've been there years and they're telling you to do that, that's not getting nobody faster. I mean, you just need to look at whoever they've coached in the past and what their times are. And let's say for whatever reason that there's that one athlete, maybe two, but that one athlete who ran a nice time, I guarantee you that's probably just off talent. That was it. With that being said, for one, in order to do that and being stuck in that position, because like I said, we've been there before.
Right.
One thing you got to do, obviously, lead that coach. But another thing is you got to have tremendous amount of belief in yourself, because I know being stuck in those times, you lose confidence like no other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start thinking, is it even worth doing this? Like, I don't want to do this to be mediocre. I'm trying to do this to be good. And honestly, for some people, they do this to have fun with it, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to get to another level of trying to improve, you don't want to just be where you're at. All right, you're always trying to keep going forward.
Right.
So that being said, never lose belief in yourself. That's gonna be the first one. Lead that coach, and then honestly, if you're serious about track and serious about improving times, you need to find ways to improve and actually really learn the sport, actually really learn the skills and technique that you need for the sport and how to do things. Right. And then I would honestly go, at that being said, I'd honestly go find somebody who does know what they're talking about, right? Right. You need to, there's certain information it'd be too much to actually be saying here right now, but there's just certain information, especially when it comes to sprinting and track and field, that you need to know in order to find another coach or somebody else who actually knows what they're doing. If they can line up with that information, that correct knowledge that's out there about running and sprinting, you'll most likely be in good hands.
Right.
As long as they know how to train, what to do, and what they're asking of you, you'll most likely be in good hands, honestly.
Right.
So.
Quality information from Mr. David Emeche, man. I want to thank you for your time and thank you for blessing us with the knowledge of days past. You know what I'm saying? So much knowledge.
It's a fun time going down memory lane, bro.
For real, man. So tell the people, where could they reach you at if they want to reach out to you, ask you some questions, or if they want to follow you on your journey? Because David is still training, you know what I'm saying? He's still training, he's still putting in that work. You know, Olympics are coming up, got some big things.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
sure, boy. The way training's going right now and the way everything is, man, it's about to be it's about to be something else, man. It's about to be scary. But I think yeah, no, yeah. If you ever want to ask any questions, you always reach out at King David _E on Instagram.
I'll be sure to put it in the description. You know what I'm saying? Put it on his little header. Hit him up, follow him, send him some messages. You single, David?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
ladies, hit him up. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm playing, but yeah, definitely. I appreciate your words, man. And what you said, you also have Twitter as well.
Yeah, I do. I'm barely on it, but you know what? Go ahead. It's gonna be the same thing at King David _E. So honestly, if y'all ever wanna hit me up through Twitter, Instagram, whatever, just got some questions you need to ask, I'm right there. So
hey, dope. So like I said, man, I truly appreciate your time. Like I said, guys, if you want to reach out to him, ladies, if you want to reach out to him, Twitter, Instagram, all that, definitely do that. And I want to thank you, David, for a quality interview. And until next time, man.
Yes, sir, bro. My pleasure.
And it's D Brown with Track Headz. Guys, stay one track minded. Peace. Sir. Guys, it's D Brown with Track Headz, and I want to thank you guys for watching the interview. Definitely hit David up. Definitely reach out to him on Instagram. I'm gonna put the description below. I'm gonna put his Instagram link in the description below. Definitely reach out to him if you have any questions. An insanely, great interview. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I want to take this time to thank you for watching. Also, guys, in the next couple of days, approximately like 8 days, I'm gonna be having the first annual Track Headz One Track Minded Turkey Trot. Okay, this is a virtual run that is open to everyone and anyone who wants to participate. I'm also gonna leave that description below in the for the link. And guys, definitely check it out. I'm gonna be having free medals. I'm gonna be offering free T-shirts. And guess what? The winner for the 5K and the 1 mile run are gonna be getting $100 worth of Track Headz gear sent straight to them, free of charge. All right, so definitely check it out. This is to reward all the track heads who've stayed really, really consistent this past year. I know COVID-19 hasn't been the best situation for anyone, but I know a lot of people have been training. They've been staying really, really consistent. So definitely check it out. Definitely register and definitely participate in this turkey trot, okay? It's going to be available not only on Thanksgiving, but also that Friday, which is Black Friday, and also that Saturday. So it's going to be a 3-day event, okay? And all the winners are going to be announced that Sunday. And after the race is concluded, I'll be releasing the results on my Instagram. That's also in the description below, okay? And once I release the results, then everyone will be getting their medals. Everyone will be getting their free T-shirt for participating in the first annual Turkey Trot, as well as the winners will be receiving their awards as well, okay? So please, if you haven't already, they're already piling in pretty fast. But definitely, this is like my first time talking about it via Track Headz TV, so definitely check it out. Definitely register. Do not wait till the last minute because registration closes the 25th right before Thanksgiving, and I know family's going to be coming out of town. People are going to be busy shopping, all this stuff. Knock it out now, so all you have to do is just upload the app and then just get to it, run your fast time, and then you're in there like swimwear, all right? So with that being said, I really want to thank you guys for watching. Definitely register Track Headz One Track Minded Turkey Trot first annual, all right? Check it out. Register. Can't wait to see you guys there. Peace.